What's up, guys? I just woke up. It's kind of a long night, but yeah, I just woke up. Slept in the living room. um, no, when I got here yesterday, I found that she had went in through the internet and cut the power off to the house. So when I got here to a fridge with food in it that's was getting warm. I also got here and found that none of the roosters or chickens have food, so they're going without food, and she's getting mad at me about not knowing what to do with them. See, I was getting told that I was only thinking of myself, but I'm the one who's been having to think about what's going on with the animals, all this shit, not just myself, and not just her. Saturday, the police already know about it. So I ended up having to talk to him again yesterday because Saturday she was told that she needed to bring back my birth certificate, and she more than likely has my younger son's birth certificate because that was with mine. And then on top of it, excuse me, the electric company knows that she committed fraud with them too because she was supposed to remove her email thing and all that stuff, her account, and she didn't. Her what was it, MS Hartman 08 or something like that, and then with the Bugsy Boo 24, I won't leave the rest of the email. But everything else was my personal information. Because she works for Klamath County, I'll be right back. Never mind. I was trying to find it, but she works for like Klamath County Disability Services. It's for people with learning disabilities. She's a caseworker, and she has it in her head that because she works for the county, she's untouchable. And so she's got my identity. She's been running my fucking shit and all that like she has. She never bothered to pay for the electric bill since April. And then while gone, every time she'd leave the house, because the neighbors were watching the house, she would have every light in the house on. So she was racking up the electric bill as high as she fucking could. And then she immediately cut it. The police know about all this. They know that she was, she got the electric bill even though it was in my name and in my information and all that. She had control of the electric bill. It was really the only real bill, because water, we have a water well and septic, and yeah, I think the only bill she actually probably paid for was the trash. I think that's the only one that was like $60. But the problem is she has my identity. She stole my shit and won't return it. She returned my house key. She didn't return the birth certificate, so none of that. And if she mails it, that can get her in some shit tons of trouble too, because that's putting my shit at serious risk. She was supposed to physically return that shit and drop it off before I got home got here yesterday, and she didn't. The fact that she went and utilized going through the internet to go in and cut off the power to the house when it wasn't scheduled to cut off until the 30th. She pulled an illegal move. That's fraud. She's not supposed to do that shit. She's not the owner of the house. Never was. We were never fucking married. So to try and act like we were married and it's some sort of divorce and she can take whatever the fuck she wants and do whatever the fuck she wants, it's actually going to end up getting her in trouble. I've had gone through this for too many fucking years with her at this point, with these fucking games that she wants to call them. So yeah, when I talked to the police yesterday and explained to them what was going on and all that, I was returning the call back because I had called them Saturday. I knew. At first, I thought she had my house papers and all that, the title and all that stuff. Excuse me for this place. But I also knew she had my birth certificate. Excuse me. All that in her shit. And yeah, she was supposed to return it. She was given 24 hours to go ahead and return that type of information and all that shit. And otherwise, I'd have to call and let the police know. Either way, I had to let them know. And because, sorry, when I explained to them what happened, they, it's not just a strong case. The officer, if she wasn't working for the county, the officer would have been investigating her immediately yesterday. But instead, he's taken the report and sent it on to an investigator who can do something. Because Klamath County Police and her, they work for the same county. The police can't investigate her. So they sent all of it to an investigator who can do something, and that investigator knows. Well, when I gave them the information out, they know that not only am I high functioning autistic, but they know I deal with neurofibromatosis too. They know who my doctor is now, so I told them if they like, they can call my doctor to confirm, because my doctor's been knowing what's going on. I let them know that who my attorneys were that I've kept in contact on a regular basis with. They've known what's been going on. Some people need to learn to stop. Because what she's doing is she's going to start fucking with my identity, and that can fuck with me on getting another home. So the abuse won't stop. Whether I'm here or in another state, they'll continue to fucking abuse me. And she knows it. The fact that she's working for the county, she's abusing her fucking position big time. And yeah, I'm getting ready to the point that I'm about to take her photo that I have of her, a few of them, what pictures I have of her, and putting her shit out there, literally. Not her personal information, but I have no problems putting out where her work is and what kind of abuse she's pulled. Because people need to know who the fuck that woman is. She's fucking crazy. She's fucking nuts. I have my moments, but there's no fucking way I could do the shit that she's been doing to me. And somehow have no remorse for it. I am genuinely dealing with a narcissistic abuser. I'm genuinely dealing with a covert narcissistic abuser from my ex-girlfriend now. My fiance, that's the same person. People thought we were married because we've been together for so fucking long. And said, no, I wouldn't get married to her because I got tired of I was not going to marry somebody who's going to obsess over other people. I don't want to have a wife that leaves me alone at home day in and day out just to go fuck around with other people. Why would I go marry someone like that? Let alone who has had me financially drained for the last 4 years. I'm still financially drained because of them. And even after selling the house, sure, I might be able to afford some of this. But she's actively trying to affect whether or not I can get another home by fucking with my credit. They're aware that she kept using my information to sign me up because she was using my identity on the electric bill while she had full control of the electric bill. I didn't even know what was going on with the electric bill until towards the beginning of this month. It was about 2 weeks ago, and that's when I found out what was going on with the electric bill. And the fact that there was no payment and that she'd been racking up the charges big time on it. Because they could see that the power in the house everything was being turned on. I mean, as is, let's say something. I'm pretty sure she decided to burn something because my torch right there when I left wasn't really there, and I noticed there's like some papers that were up in there that were burned. So yeah, some of them could be photos, but yeah, I'm not stupid about this, and I ain't touching that at all because if she's been doing, whatever illegal shit she's been doing here too. I don't know what kind of investigations they're gonna do with this shit. I'm not a cop. I'm not law enforcement. But what she's done is illegal. I've tried to break away from this constant fucking the psychological abuse that's constantly going on over the last couple years, and the fact that anytime you look at the person, they just start displaying nothing but hate to you, and you're like, no, you need to leave, just leave. And their attitude is, I'll call the cops on you. You can't make me leave. She used the police as a control factor. Once she lied enough and threw me in jail 3 fucking times for shit I didn't do and proved my innocence, she learned that she could use the police as her enforcers. And she knew from that point on, because of how scared I was to even just drive into town, she started using the police on me as a form of control. It wasn't until when she admitted that, yeah, she was fucking around. And she was planning on a fight that day. She was hoping for something to happen. I had already left. And as many times she kept threatening me with the police, and even down to threatening me saying, if you come back here again, I'll call the cops on you. Don't test me. Because she had already made like 2 different reports on my ass, and I wasn't even around. And after she tells me never not to come back to the house, or she'll call the police on me and have me arrested, they don't test me. And I flat out told her, quit fucking threatening me. Yeah. It wasn't even a week later, she's demanding I go help her move. That's called an entrapment, because I know what she was doing. She was trying to set me up into a position to throw me in jail again. That's why I would not talk to her or none of that, because for some reason, I have given her so much power over me that I just hear her voice. It's immediate. So I would never allow her to talk to me. I would not allow her to talk to me by voice. If she wanted to speak, she needed to use text or email, because I was not going to do it. I knew that she would be able to manipulate me emotionally and all that just by me hearing her voice. I don't know. No, I'm not doing that. And so, yeah, after all this shit that's been going on, and then coming home yesterday and finding that, yeah, she left the house key, but she didn't leave my birth certificate, my younger son's birth certificate, any of that shit. I'm waiting for a phone call from the investigator who is going to do something, who got the report from the police yesterday. The officer told me flat out that I'd probably get a call back last night, but given the time and the fact that it was on a Sunday, I knew it was going to end up being today, because it was just late. It was going on like between 7 and 8 o'clock. But, so I'll probably get a phone call today. Ended up calling her work and left a message again, letting them know what she did again. And I let them know the police are aware and that an investigator has been contacted. And the officer let me know that if she wasn't a county employee, he'd be investigating right now. He would be doing his job. Sorry. I just woke up and it's, yeah. But, no, he'd be doing his job right now. It's just he can't. There's something very wrong when employees for a county, city, state, anything like that is protected from getting in trouble for committing crimes, especially against people with disabilities. Yeah, I'm not sure I could ever trust the government that does that protects people who target the weak, whether they're physically or mentally disabled, to target those people for self-gain. You deserve prison. You don't deserve the freedom or the job you have. If you're going to abuse that position to do harm to the people that you were hired to protect, without question, I would immediately arrest your ass and have you thrown in prison. Because people like that of anybody, especially those who were hired to protect those with learning disabilities and handicaps and all that stuff, who also uses that job to protect her ass while she abuses somebody in that same position at home. That's almost the worst kind of person you can think of. That's literally like a pedophile going and working at a church so that they can get closer to their victims. Something very wrong with that. And if the person that she's interested in, that she's been cheating with, I think there's some other shit going on. Sorry, but I actually think that she's been doing some other fucking drugs. I know she's a big pothead, but I actually think she's been doing some other drugs. What she's been doing is not fucking normal. And, I mean, over the last 4 years, yeah, the narcissistic abuse never ended the last 4 years since we got the house. It just got worse. And then when she got around certain people, it got even more worse. So, I don't know what to think. The woman I fell in love with doesn't exist anymore. That woman died somewhere. I don't know how, metaphorically speaking, because whoever this woman is not who I fell in love with. This is a very evil, fucked up person and yeah. And the family that's involved, they need to look in the fucking mirror because they taught her to be this kind of person. And they can say, no, I didn't teach her that. She just sort of learned this on her own. No. You don't have to teach somebody to be a certain way directly without kind of giving them a nudge in a certain direction to turn them into something because they're trying to make you happy. Instead of worrying about their fucking relationship. They abuse their relationship and they demonize the man that they're with for 4 fucking years nonstop. Defamation, everything. Costing him every relationship around him. Down to them having the ability to straight admit to me that they destroyed all these relationships, but to anybody else, no. Because they know if that truth got out and other people started learning who she really was, wait a minute, this is real? And yeah. It wouldn't do good for her. She knows that. That's why narcissists, especially like that, don't want people to know what they're doing behind closed doors to their other halves. And anytime their other half goes to say anything, they get made out crazy. It's easy to make somebody who's been diagnosed with high-functioning autism look crazy. Especially when you know how to trigger a meltdown or you know how to trigger a shutdown. And then you know how to escalate those. She scared me, and she does scare me now. And they might think it's tough and everything, but no, there's nothing tough about terrorizing somebody who's disabled. Because they're disabled. And because they couldn't fucking do everything you wanted them to do. And eventually And the only way I could escape from this person was to sell my house. I have to be out of here by the end of the month. Sold the place because it was not giving her the chance to use me again. So I said, if I heard her voice, she would be able to manipulate me. I've had this problem. I don't know why, but I love this woman. I genuinely love this woman and have never stopped. And that's what makes her dangerous to me because I will allow her to continue the abuse. That's why I couldn't talk to her, none of that. That's why the last time I did, I recorded that call and kept telling her I was recording it. She obviously wasn't listening or thinking I was. She keeps trying to call thinking I'm bluffing her, and I'm not bluffing. And I'm not threatening her either. It's called I'm having to protect myself from that person. So yeah, even when you can get them out of your home, get rid of the home, you need to make sure that you have all your personal information, and especially stuff like your birth certificate, and that they don't have access to it, because even if they're not living there, they can turn around, take that information, and start running up, like, they can just apply for random apartments just without actually intending to get one. They can start using the identity to start connecting it to other utility bills and all, maybe even at their place or somebody else's place and so forth. And what that's doing, it's the intent to fuck with the person's credit, so it makes it harder for them to get a home. The fact that our own child, hers and my son, our oldest child, is also doing that currently right now with my father. My father signed for him to help him get an RV. Or a fifth wheel or whatever. Not a fifth wheel, but it's a trailer. And because my father is the primary title holder on there, my son's letting it fall. And it's going to fuck my dad with almost $40,000 or $30,000, something like that, of problems. So he found a place that's going to call that he's going to turn around and sell it to, where they might be able to. They should be just basically they would buy it for the amount that he owes. And I'm going to be getting a hold of the dealership out here and see if they can buy my little Fiat for what I owe on that still, so I don't have to pay on that anymore. I just want to have it done and over with. But, yeah, that way I don't have as much stuff that I'm trying to take over. I'm just trying to get rid of all that, try to keep what I can in my truck that I can take with my truck, and then everything else would go into the pod thing, and it would get delivered to the new place or wherever. It's only like, right now it's 6:41 in the morning, and so I should probably be hearing something back here in the next couple hours, maybe from that investigator person. Because my thought is they're probably going to wait until 8, 9 o'clock, somewhere in there. I just know she needs to return that shit and stop. Because for someone who says they want to end things civilly, and that I'm making it all about myself. I'm not the one who's breaking one law after another to try and fuck over my disabled boyfriend because I'm being a Miss Pissy because I admitted that I was cheating on her. She's been cheating for months, lying for months, at minimum. They know that she pushed me in a position to house her. Well, after admitting she cheated on me, after I told her she needed to get out in 48 hours, and that type of stuff, and she's like, nope, that's not going to happen, that's illegal, blah, 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 blah. The officers know what happened on that. I made sure that was there and let them know that, look, she even forced me out of the fucking house, even after admitting that she's been cheating on me. And been doing it for a while. I lost my home because of her. I was forced out of my home, wasn't able to return, because she kept threatening me. And that's why I quit talking to her. So I wouldn't talk to her because I got tired of getting threatened. I got tired of getting controlled. And my Stockholm ass motherfucking bullshit would cave to her the moment I hear her voice. So it's not good. But it's not so much that I'm going to be worried on whether or not I'll have the money to get an attorney and press charges if I have to go that route. It's the fact it shouldn't be going on, period. So, I'm going to leave that here. People are watching these, please, just learn from this. I know I've been pretty humiliated posting my own shit all over this. It does bother me. But I'm also hoping all of you learn from this, because this is happening like basically in real time. And as I turn around, I do the bed and I upload. Because I'm trying to share people with what I'm going through in hopes that maybe they can spot it too and get away before it gets bad. or if they're going through something similar and they know they're going through something similar, they can see kind of what's happening here and they gotta get out of it. Man or woman, they don't have a right to abuse you like that, whether it's physically or psychologically, and to destroy your life so that for personal gain, the parental alienation, all that shit, the abuses that they put you through. Just because they don't hit you doesn't mean they're not abusing you. In their head, if they speak real sweet and kind to you, and then behind your back completely fuck you over, they think what they're doing is right. You think it's okay. A narcissist will never see any fault in their actions, and they'll never fucking admit to them. They'll never have remorse or anything. The only time they will have remorse for anything and cry is when they know they're in trouble. When they know they can't get away with the shit they did. It's the only time they get upset and angry. There's somebody who went from whipping her children with fucking coat hangers. Like I said, you can go look up her divorce between... I'm very tempted to start dropping names. Because anybody can go to the Clackamas County Courthouse and pull this information up from 2011. 2012, right there. I think it's 2011. It's why she lost her kids. She tried lying to my face about it, and I gave her the benefit and believed her for... It was like 2-3 years there that we were together, and then she finally admitted why she lost her kids. It wasn't just what her mom said to her son Jake at the courthouse. It's what she did to these kids. It's why several family members, when she tried to get several people in my family to help her out with that whole situation between her and her ex-husband, they wouldn't help. I think only 2 people wrote letters for her because they didn't see what was provided to the courts that caused her to lose her kids. They saw it, they wouldn't have helped. I actually found the letter from one of my cousins, Christine, that wrote a letter on her behalf. And yeah, reading it, if that young lady actually knew what that woman did, she wouldn't have wrote that letter. I just know we had an entire fucking family destroyed. And at first it started out between her and my cousin destroying the fucking family, and then she just kind of carried the torch on because the rest of the families had nothing to do with her ex or my aunt at all. And for those who are wondering where that whole thing's concerned, her and I were high school sweethearts. She thought it'd be a good idea after we, split, and I kept pushing for co-parenting because we were teen parents. I didn't want to walk out on my kid. I didn't want to be that typical fucking teen dad. But I also didn't want to keep her from experiencing life. I didn't want to be the only person that she ever fucking knew. And so she decided to go hook up with my best friend, who was a pedophile, it turned out. He was in jail for pedophilia, but she thought it'd be a good idea to go hook up with him. And then she turns around after that, after he, goes in jail for dinging his brother and sister, and then tried passing that off to another friend of ours in school, which was some fucked up shit, because a lot of people thought it was him. And it wasn't this other guy. A lot of people thought I knew what was really going on. Because I was housing his ass, basically. And after that, she decided to move on to my cousin. Yes, I should have never fucking let her come back. Yet when she came back, I was in a hospital and I was literally coming out of what, for all I knew, was some sort of coma. She was already taking advantage of me then. I can't help but after everything that's happened here over the last, especially the last few months and then over the last few years, she knew how I felt about her then, and when she saw me in that state of mind, I don't believe she went in for my son's behalf. She went in there on her own behalf. She saw a fucking new victim. She saw a target. She saw somebody who is vulnerable, that she can push her way into that life and go, no, I want it. I'm going to work hard for it. I'm going to get that relationship. She destroyed my marriage that way, too. My wife was already, yeah. I don't know exactly what all happened during all that. But it's been nonstop. And I can't help but, after all this, look back and go, I was being used the last 12 years and had no clue. It wasn't until I ended up on a disability because I couldn't work anymore. Between physical and mental health, I couldn't do it. And she, from that moment on, that's when the abuse really came out of her and her family. The isolation, the alienation. I can go down the list. And I've done that through these videos already. Anyways, if you like this, don't be afraid to subscribe. I don't expect anybody to like it though. Because this isn't good shit. This is bad. Hopefully I will get a call back here soon today. I don't know how that stuff works out necessarily, but I'm supposed to get a call back from that investigator. And then yeah. Anyways, I'll keep you posted and updated on what's going on. Stay safe and try and have a good day out there. Late.